Got a very, very special guest with me, my dog, my brother. Before I introduce him, just gonna give you guys the updates of what we got going on and stuff like that. So this upcoming Saturday is our championships for our development league. Shout outs to all the teams who advanced. Box Out, Wolfpack, Trust the Process, Young Kings. Congrats to y'all. We see you Saturday. I have DJ Uptown there. He's gonna be playing some music. We're gonna have an R&B Saturday in the gym. First time we ever done that. It's gonna be a good time. Also, we having our first fundraiser. We're doing like a seafood dinners type of thing. So we're selling dinners. So if you're interested in supporting the fundraiser, feel free. Information is all over my Instagram. Um, it's Valentine's Day next week, so shout out to everybody who's celebrating Valentine's Day. Shout out to my dog Stills. Feel better to my man Tiny. The whole Bars and Hoops family. Now for my special guest, the legendary. It's my dog, the legendary Diary Wilson, my brother, man. Just introduce yourself, man. Let them know who we're talking to.
My God, I love you, man.
I love you too, bro.
Tyree Wilson. I'm here speaking with my dog. I had a lot of people request to have, interviews, stuff like that. Work schedules extremely busy. My dog got this show. Amazing. I seen a couple of episodes. If I was gonna do it the first time, the inaugural, I had to do it with him, man. That's why I'm here today.
I appreciate you for being here, man. You know what I'm saying, how's life treating you, man? What's going on? Like what's new in your world, man?
Like life is not bad, man. I can't complain. Like I said, as you get older in life, you just start really being thankful for the smaller things in life. I think we all went through it. Being younger, you young, you think people that's 30s, 40s, or yeah, old, whatever the case may be. You start understanding as you get older. It's a blessing. Like every single, what I'm saying, every single year, you're able to see, another day, another year, another lap around the sun. It's a blessing. Life is in a very, very good place right now. I will
That's
say
what's
that
up, man.
definitely.
It's great to hear. It's great to hear, man. One of the first things I ask all of my guests when they come, man, if you had to describe yourself using one word, what would that word be and why?
I'm gonna go with what you say with the people who know me say. I would say legendary, and I would say that in a sense of not because I've accomplished or done anything that nobody has ever done, but at the end of the day, I think all of us coming from the places we come from in a city, a lot of people have family issues, single parents. I mean, even if you have both your parents or whatever the case may be, to get past some of the circumstances and the trials and tribulations that we were able to conquer. I take that as something legendary. You start thinking back at life. Life is hard, man. It ain't easy, man.
That's a
Like, you know what I'm
fact.
saying. It throws things at you here and there that you can't expect. Some days you could be mountain highs, and then other days you could be valley low. So I would definitely describe it as legendary.
That's what's up, man. Legendary, and that's what you are, my
My
brother.
God, thank you. I
For a
love you. I
fact, for
appreciate
a
you.
fact. Shout out to everybody that's checking in. Much love and thanks for tuning in, man. So real quick, I got a segment. It's called 21 Questions. I ask you 21 questions, rapid fire. You answer them in a single word or the least amount of words as possible.
Single
We
word.
on we on Bars and Hoops Radio, so
Copy,
there's gonna be
copy,
some questions pertaining to music, and then it's gonna be some pertaining to sports, to basketball. You know what I mean?
copy.
All right, we're gonna start it. So the very first question: who is your favorite rap artist of all time?
Jay Z.
All right, who's your favorite rap group? Or yeah, who's
Mob
your favorite
Deep.
rap? Mob
Mob
Deep.
Deep.
All right, Big Queens. I love it, man. Who's your favorite R&B artist or group?
It's tough, man. R. Kelly, man. That's how I mean, we keeping it real.
R.
This is how
Kelly, you gotta keep
we
it
keeping it
real.
real, man.
R.
We keeping
Kelly's
it
that
real.
guy, man. He's that guy. I who's your favorite artist today? Any genre?
Artists today, any genre. Honestly speaking, I like Little Dirk.
Yeah,
I like Little Dirk.
Durky, yo, yeah.
Yeah, I like Dirk.
All right, Dirk is dope. Um, favorite TV show?
TV show is tough, man. I grew up when TV shows was TV shows, man. It's reality TV nonsense, man. I grew if I had to pick, I had to pick one, I would say probably damn, I can't pick different strokes, man.
Different
Something
Strokes.
Different Strokes is a good show, man.
All right, that was definitely a good one.
Yeah.
Top 2 favorite basketball movies. Top 2.
Favorite basketball movies. Shout out to Spike Lee. He Got Game. I would definitely put that in there.
Yeah.
But also it escapes me right now, but it was a documentary like with Arthur Agee and I forgot the name of it. It was like it was a documentary. I forgot the name. Maybe they'll come back to me later, but it was a documentary. It was good.
Your favorite NBA basketball team of all time, and you could pick the year.
It's the Bulls, man. Any year that Mike was on the Bulls, those championship runs, like I said, like you speak to the kids nowadays, and obviously they love LeBron, Kobe, or whatever. I actually got to live through that to see Michael, and ain't nobody lace him up like that boy, man.
All right. So with that said, who's your favorite NBA basketball player of all time?
I know everybody in the world who know me is what you call it right now. Like I'm a say it. I think personally, talent wise, like anybody who knows me knows I love LeBron. I got a great deal of respect for what he's accomplished in the game. And like I said, I say that humbly because at the end of the day, we looking at an 18-year-old kid who was compared to a phenom, Michael Jordan. And honestly, I could imagine being that 18-year-old kid and you'd be like, damn, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, when you think about it as an adult, that shit is unfair. Like that motherfucker did shit that was the first of, you know what I mean, basketball player wise. But I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, I seen Michael Jordan. I would never disrespect, and he's the baddest to lace him up. He's the baddest to lace him up.
Your favorite NBA team to watch today?
NBA team to watch today. It was crazy. We went to a game. Me, the General S and Maul. Shout out to my guy for we went to the Barclays the other day. I got to see Steph Curry live in action. Damn, like and like I said, I know a bunch of NBA guys. A lot of my guys went to the NBA.
Right.
But to see him, like I said, it was like, God damn, like like people don't understand it. Like if you know what I mean, even the people who play sports, unless you see that up close and personal, team wise, present day, they don't do it for me. I'm not gonna lie. I like players. I'll be honest. It ain't. They don't got the dog in them. All of them, man.
All right. So who's your player?
Today? It's LeBron. Present day, it's LeBron. Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Who you got in the finals this year? If
I just had this conversation. Today. Like I said, I like the Clippers is gelling. The Clippers is really gelling. For whatever reason, Boston just can't get it right. But I told somebody this day, I'm gonna say it here today. I actually think Minnesota's gonna win the championship. I don't have an outright favorite. I don't have an outright, like
the way they hooping.
And don't get me wrong. Shout out to Joker. Joker, and they got the same team, but for whatever reason, I like them this year.
I think Minnesota got the edge. Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, Edwards is a dog, man. He's a dog.
Different.
He's a dog.
They saying that's Jordan's son.
Yeah, it might be. I thought it was Jimmy Butler a couple of years ago. It might be.
Right. If you had to pick an NBA player to compare your game to. You know what I mean, like they say, you kind of remind them of this kind of a player.
You know what's crazy? My college coach, shout out to Jeff Rulin or whatever the case may be. He played in the NBA for quite a few seasons, Washington Bullets, stuff like that.
Yeah.
He told me that I reminded him when I was in college. I reminded him of a young Clyde Drexler. Obviously, he's seen basketball a lot. So, like I said, for anybody who's seen me play or whatever the case may be, it's like I'm just going one way. Like I'm not playing with the ball too much. I was getting to the basket, jump high, whatever the case may be. And after he told me that, I went. He also provided me a bunch of film. So I looked at him. So I'll say Clyde.
All right, dope. I believe that too. Now since he's saying that, now I'm looking back. Yeah, I can see that. what was your best year of your basketball career? You would say, like, what age or what grade?
Man, like, it I don't know. I mean that basketball. I mean, shout out to basketball. I loved it, and it took me, all around the world, some amazing things. But it's different levels. So it's like, it's AAU, then it's school,
Yeah,
then it's, what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, if I had to pick one, to be probably my sophomore year in Iona, we went, to the NCAA tournament. I was the MVP of the
yeah,
conference tournament
big
or whatever.
time.
Like I said,
Yeah.
I don't know how long the MAC conference was in existence, but let's just say it was 50 years. Like only 50 people had
Right,
gotten
right.
that accolade or whatever the case
Yeah,
may be. So
yeah.
that
Only
was
it
that
was
was
only
amazing.
50
Yeah, you know
people
what
in
I'm
the
saying?
world
Like
with
like I
that.
said, yeah, I don't know the total number, but
Yeah.
that was a very good year for me.
Okay. Okay. Your career high in points, if you remember.
Points in college, if I'm not mistaken, it was 27, 20, 28.
Yeah.
Like I think like twice, three times or whatever the case may be.
You know how hard
Um
it. People don't know how hard it is to score
I mean,
that much. In
it's tough. Like I said, for you, for people who play basketball, whatever, especially people who critique. You're critiquing pros or whatever. Those listen, I'm here to tell you, those guys that don't get up, that don't get off the bench for 48 minutes, they'll come to your local pro amateur tournament to get 60 without sweating,
60
man. You know what I
easy.
mean? So it's what you call it, man. It's definitely, you definitely gotta respect people who have a craft or whatever the case may be, especially like I said, pros, like pros, college people, anybody putting in the work day in and day out.
All right. Most skilled teammate you ever had the privilege of playing with, if you
Listen,
can remember.
listen, the hood, I love you. I could be here for forever. Like, you know what I'm saying? I done been on teams with Ron, Odom, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's but like I said, New York City or whatever the case may be, um, it might be skill, like Eric Barkley, like,
Yeah,
Omar Cook, Dre Barrett,
yeah, yeah,
Kenny
yeah,
Satt,
yeah,
Anthony Glover, like,
yeah.
the most skilled, that would be hard for me to say, but I
Okay.
will say that I've been blessed enough to play with some guys that for 3 or 4 minutes I'm actually in the game on the court, like, God damn, he's a bad motherfucker, man.
Right,
Like, you know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Phil Grant, my dog,
Shout out to
college, like
Phil.
Nakia
Yeah,
Miller, like,
yeah.
what I'm saying? I done seen some people do some amazing things
That's a
on the
fact. That's a
basketball
fact.
court.
All right. That's gonna conclude our 21. Now we're gonna dive into the history of you. I mean, real quick. I'm gonna open up the lines 516-206-0711 for anybody who wants to call in. 516-206-0711. For you guys watching on my gram, you want to see the entire interview, go on YouTube, type in Bars and Hoops TV. You're gonna see both myself and and not just me on the gram right now. All right, so let's talk about it, man. Where does your story begin? Your basketball story? Like, when does it start? Like, if you
My
can remember.
my basketball story starts probably at 11, age 11. Like,
Okay.
just to be notable. So now, mind you, shout out to Queens. I was born in Far Rockaway. A lot of people don't
we
know that.
we was gonna get to that,
Yeah, a lot of
man.
people. I'm sorry
We was
if I
going.
spoil it, but
Nah, it's
a lot.
fine.
Yeah, like
It's
I was
fine.
born in Far Rockaway. I stayed out there too. I was about 3.
Okay,
Moved to the Bronx.
got it.
Unbeknownst to me, my uncle, James Pookie Wilson, one of the best street ball players
Right.
ever, nicknamed MVP. Anybody who's familiar with, Rucker Park, New York City basketball, whatever the case. I'm talking about a real
Mhm.
living legend. Like, the way his story is told, that my life probably should have been a little different if he could have, if he could have straightened it out,
Right.
school stuff like that or
Right.
whatever the case may be. 11, my homeboy, I was living in the Bronx, Boston Road. My homeboy, Ronald, was like, yeah, I'm going to, work out or whatever the case may be, Riverside Church. So
Okay.
it's like, yo, come, like, whatever. I was tall, I probably grew like between 11 and now probably only like 3 or 4 inches or whatever the case was, like, yo, come down or
Okay.
whatever. So
Okay.
went down to Riverside Church, went to those practices or whatever the case may be. Wasn't good at all. I was terrible
Okay.
actually, and that's really where my story begins at.
That's what's up, man. If you could remember, just to talk about it a little bit, the schools that you attended, elementary, middle school, before we get into your high school
Okay,
career.
okay. So after like I said, going down to Riverside Church, I'll never forget first tournament game after a couple of months of practice.
Yeah.
Ross Strickland tournament in the Bronx, Mitchell
Okay.
Project. Shout out to Mitchell
Shout
Projects in
out
the
to Mitchell
Bronx.
Projects in the Bronx, man.
My son, he played for Milbank. My son Chopper, dog. I mean, at the time I didn't know him, but like
Yeah.
in that feeling, I just remember like I can't do nothing with this
Right,
nigga. Like,
right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying? Like you gotta get better at this or whatever the case may be. So
How old are you at this time? Would you say?
this is about 12,
12. Okay.
11,
All right.
11 12.
So
So
this is
school wise, like I went to PS5. Speaking of PS5, shout out to everybody. And Hilltop, we PS5 has some of the best basketball runs ever. Shout out to Nut, one of the best DJs in New York City, LA Love, Bob
Mhm.
Joe, and Executive Nick, like what I'm saying, Hal, like General Greg Sal. We used to be out there. So before I got to a level where I'm playing great organized, those are the guys that I just named that never went to school, nothing like that, played
Okay.
or whatever the case may be, that helped me hone my skills on a blacktop every day to where it's like before I could think about playing in front of thousands, if I can impress these guys,
Right.
that was it for me
Gotcha.
at that time. And they made me tougher, got me better, whatever
Right.
the case may be. So PS5 elementary, then I graduated. I think I went to I think it's CS 146 now. But then about 13, I started getting good. Started
Okay.
getting real good.
Yeah, that's
So
that's what we want to know.
Yeah. So I started getting real good. And in eighth grade, I went to a school that my son happened to attend, but also um Trey Barrett went there. A bunch of people went there. My son Tony McCoy, like
Okay.
Majestic Map went there, if I'm not mistaken. Mount Carmel Holy Rosary is located in Harlem, New York, 120th Street and Pleasant, down a block from Manhattan Center.
Copy.
Manhattan Center also produced a lot of great people. Kev Morris,
Yeah.
Richie Parker, like what I'm saying. So I got in there eighth grade. I don't think we lost the game. I'm positive we didn't lose the game, bro. And I just got I got a lot better. Riverside Church sponsored me to go to the school, and my basketball career started taking off from that point.
From that point.
Yes.
All right. So I know how it is in middle school. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
eighth grade.
Yeah.
Every single high school in the city wants you.
Yes.
I mean, every single
definitively.
Yeah.
Definitively. So like I said, it started clicking on all cylinders. Every high school, like I said, I'm a Bronx guy.
Yeah.
Definitely, I definitely had the option
You're
to go
Queens
to St.
guy,
Raymond's.
man.
Yeah.
You're a Queens guy, man.
right? Yeah.
A
A little bit of Queens guy. But it definitely was written after I said that's my first year in a parochial school, Catholic school, Mount Carmel Holy Rosary, uniforms, ties, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Great time. So now school comes into play, the high schools. Bronx, you got All Hallows, you got Cardinal Hayes, you got St. Raymond's. Then you have schools like up north, like Westchester, you got like Salesian, which is in Westchester. Yeah. You have Rice, which was in Harlem, New York, or whatever the case may be. So now I'm in eighth grade during the Felipe era, right? During the Felipe Lopez era. Right, so I'm in eighth grade during that era. I'm a Riverside kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people that was from Riverside, we tended to go to Rice. I had a great coach, Riverside Thurman player, amazing guy, like a real, what I'm saying, like father figure. When I was young, I know he meant that to a lot of guys throughout the city or whatever the case may be. So, sort of like my mentor too, asking about schools. Like I said, getting extremely good,
right.
Starting to branch out, go to these camps,
right.
so forth and so on. And, went to visit went up there. The coach at the time, Louis DeMello. Conversations, yo, listen, kid, you got, what I mean, like we having conversations, and after seeing it, like you start to, what I mean, think about it, like going there a few times, it's like, man, you could be part of history. This shit right here is like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean. So
Right.
made the
Right.
decision to attend Rice High School in
Nice.
the fall of '94.
Right.
'94.
All right. So let's talk about your high school career now, man, because you did some amazing things throughout that time. I mean, you were still playing AAU ball,
Yes.
but you was also putting on for your school. So what kind of
Yes.
student was you at Rice? Like,
I was a good student. I was a good student. Wasn't, like, I definitely, I mean, I don't, the numbers, I guess 3.0 maybe,
yeah,
something like that. Definitely
nice.
never had a problem in school, stuff like that. But now, like I said, once I got to school, you right, I did. So now you get the Rice. Like I said, this is the Felipe era.
Yeah.
So now mind you that Felipe Manu, he went crazy. I mean, best thing that we ever seen at the time, whatever
Right.
the case may be. Um, that year, as Felipe graduated or whatever the case may be, I get to go to the McDonald's All American game, which was in St. John's that year, or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. So now I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's like Paul Pierce,
Yeah.
Anton Walker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm looking like, and we there, and we like, God damn, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, you sit, even present day now, you sit in the stands, and it's, mind you, it's like, you play the game, but the shit looks so fast. You see them playing, like, now mind you, I'm looking Andre Patterson. I'm looking at like guys that's
Yeah.
Rafe LaFrance. These are
Right.
guys who obviously they went on to be, some of the best players in the world at the time, or whatever the case may be. So for me, it's like, oh, I can't wait to get my turn. Like, after 4 years, this is,
Right.
you know what I mean? This is what it is, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So it was great. So, school start, whatever the case may be. Lou DeMello left. He got another job somewhere, whatever the case may be. They brought in Coach Mo Hicks. Shout out to Mo Hicks,
Shout
man.
out to Mo Hicks.
Mo Hicks,
Mhm.
in his own right, great New York City basketball player. Did some amazing things, or whatever the case may be. As I told you, my mentor, Thurman Player, he also came over to the Rice High School
Wow.
staff, or whatever the case may
Dope.
be. So now, one of the top guys in the city, freshman in
Yeah.
the city.
Yeah.
So now we get into the school speculation, like, he's going to be on the varsity team, which meant a lot at the time. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes,
And
that's a
certain
big
things, you know what I
deal.
mean? Certain things. It's almost like when you hear about $1 million in the '90s. Like,
Right.
that shit was a lot of money. Like,
Right,
I mean,
right.
it ain't much present day, but at the time, or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's a
the case may
big
be.
deal, man.
So now, get on the team, whatever the case may be. We having workouts, it's that and the third. We running the stairs, shit like that, or whatever the case may be. So somehow, some way, the decision is made. Not only am I on the team, I'm starting as a freshman in Rice High School basketball.
Wow.
Like I said, once
That's
again,
big time.
it's something that goes on all around the world, present day. At that time, that was a very, very, very big deal. Big enough to the point,
It's a
a
huge
lot of
deal.
of things in my life now, you looking at them in vision is 2020 in hindsight. Like, as I was going through it, it was just like, I mean, I was the guy at my age, so like, I've been starting. So
Right.
it was nothing. But to look back at it now, like, damn, that was really, I mean, that was really
it's
an
a
amazing
big
feat.
deal,
Yeah.
man. Big deal. Yeah. So throughout your years there, I mean, you guys did really well.
Did very, very, very,
You
very,
did
very,
very well.
very well.
Let's
Like,
talk about that a little
yeah.
bit.
So
you know what I'm saying?
the Rice being a Rice Raider during that time. Shout out to all the guys I played with. My son Kevin Bell, Andre Barrett, Kenny Satt, Courtney Fields, Franklin Temple. Shout out to Gary Saunders, like Gary Saunders, G Dogs. That was like, you know what I mean, like my freshman year. That was like my mentor, whatever the case may be. Amazing career. Went on to have an amazing career at Georgia Tech. Shout out to Corey Williams, C Homicide. Went on to do some amazing things. Chetney Gray, Tariq Kirksey. So like I said, being a part of that, Kendall Manor, being a part of that heritage of basketball. It was like being a rock star during that time.
That's
we
a
went
fact.
to
Yeah.
we went to all of the top tournaments around the world. We, you know what I'm saying, like, we had some amazing games
Yeah.
like that I've been involved in. It was amazing. Like, scouts, everything. Anthony Glover, like shout out to my dog AG. It was an amazing time. Like I said, it was an amazing time. And like present day, my son is in high school. I tell him like, yo, he don't play sports. He,
Yeah.
he does, other
Yeah.
kid
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Tell him like, yo, enjoy these 4 years of life. Like, you
Yeah.
meet some of your lifelong friends.
Yeah.
It blows by in a flash. But it was great. Like I said, we had a game. We beat. Shout out to my dog Kenny Sat. Like, I think
Shout out to Kenny
I
Sat.
think Saint Anthony's. They was on a streak, like a 60-game streak or something like that. I don't remember
Sheesh.
whatchamacallit. We snapped that shit in Jersey. I ain't gonna lie, that shit is almost like winning a game in the middle of Chicago O Block and getting out safe at the time. You know what I mean? Like, it was just something that wasn't
Yeah.
happening. St. Anthony's wasn't losing
Yeah.
at home.
Nah.
And we was able to get in there and get a win. Countless other tournaments, Myrtle Beach, like just a amazing thing, nationally ranked.
Yeah.
Damn near every year, if not every year, 3 out of 4 years, but I'm almost positive it was every year. Never the national champions, because obviously it was talent all around
Yeah,
the world, but
yeah.
we had some amazing times. We won 2 out of my 4 years. So I think was it 2 out of my 4 years, or it could have been 3. I don't know why that's escaped me right now, but I had amazing
That's a
time
fact.
at Rice.
That's a
Amazing,
fact. That's a
amazing.
fact. So real quick, man, quick story. So I met you at work. You know what I mean, and
Copy.
we go away to the men's tournament. We go to Atlanta that we go to every year, and we snap a picture for the first time, and I post it. And I'm a Queens guy. You know what I mean? I'm a Queens guy, and all of my Queens guys that was guys in the basketball world knew who he was off the rip. Like, yo, son, that's the legend. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when I knew, like, oh yeah, we got one. We good. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's dope. Shout out to everybody who hit you off that post. Like I said,
Yeah.
I'm not one of the guys that you're gonna find around. It's just like you said, like when we at work, we at a place in which it's just like you said, anybody that's running around telling their own stories, waving them off, is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't like, people gotta tell those stories, tell those stories for you.
Right,
so like I said,
that's a fact.
the game of basketball has been amazing for me. I mean, even to present day. I've met a lot of amazing people. I've got to go all around the world, see some amazing things in life. And like I said, everything that it was supposed to do for me, it did. You know what I'm saying? Anything that it did. And like I said, even when people, they ask like, yo, you play ball, you didn't want to go to the NBA. Everybody wanted to go to the NBA.
Everybody wants to go to the NBA.
That's not like
Yeah.
we're talking about a profession, even present day. We're talking about under 450 jobs for it's probably a couple of 100 million people who aspire to have that dream. So this is why I let people know, when you critiquing, especially the pros and stuff like that. I remember, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying this only because even present day, working out, you're getting older in age or whatever. I remember taking my body to the point of like it breaking in order just to be in shape with these guys. So like I said, you want basketball stories. So now as I'm getting good, as I'm getting better and better and better, whatever the case may be. So now I'm in New York City, shout out to my son Clario, you top 5 8th graders in the city, which is great. It's great. But now, as you start getting better, start going to 5-star Homesdale. You start going to Nike All-American camp. And it's like you start seeing these guys that you read in the streets of Smith, like, oh, he in front of me, we're going to see this. So now, like, I tell funny stories. So now, like I said, my guys is NBA guys that is amazing. Kenny Sat, Omar Cook, L.O., Ron, whatever. Anybody, Elton Brand, my guys, like, you know what I'm saying? So now I've seen these guys, like we played together, but now you go out of town. So like I'll tell somebody, I think I was in Phoenix. The first time I seen Tayshaun Prince play. Now mind you, Tayshaun Prince. Now mind you, we 14 at the time. Niggas 6'9", 6'10". Coming. He's taking 2 steps over half, slingshot. Shit is like nothing but net. But now he's like the shit that we see now, like like it's almost like me seeing him is the first time some people seeing Wemby. Two dribbles to the rim, dunks, and you like, you know what I mean? Like, so I seen Baron Davis. Like Baron Davis might be a year ahead of me, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, maybe 2 years ahead of me, whatever the case may be. Like, I think it's in Nike All-American camp with the top niggas in the world.
Right.
Like, I mean, it's not even funny. Like, I can't even tell you the shit that was going on in these camps. Like, you know what I mean? And you get to see these other people that you only seen based on a name on a paper, and it lets you know, like, nah, my nigga, you gotta get in the gym, my nigga. These niggas is dead. Because I mean, some of these, like I said, and this is real. Like I said, I know, like Dre Barrett, Kenny Sat, they gym rats. They in a gym all the time. Like, if you want to be not only in basketball, that's why I say I like you asked me about life earlier. Not only in basketball, but in life. If you say you love something or whatever, you got to dedicate to it and keep it up. Like, that's what I seen when I started going away and going to these camps and stuff like this, because you could say, oh, nah, these niggas ain't chilling. They in the gym. Like, you could tell. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
they live in the gym.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Some of these people are physically gifted to the point where it's like, come on, bro, we need to see birth certificates. We need these niggas is ringing, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was dope. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Let's talk about the transition from high school to college. I mean, like, I know, because you had a great high school career, and I know there was a lot of schools that was knocking at your door. So let's talk about that a little bit.
So that transition, like you said, that transition is tough, and that transition is tough for even if you're one of the top people in the world. Like I said, I know that from experience, because, like I said, I have a lot of friends who were, McDonald's All-American come out. It's a tough transition, because for one, it's just like every single body. So it's almost like when you go to the NBA, everybody was the guy at a certain point in time, or whatever the case may be. You come into college. Don't get me wrong, colleges are happy to have you, but now it's just like Hud, this is my guy.
Yeah.
He plays ball. I don't give a fuck if he's on a college team. I don't give a fuck if you're the top point guard in the world. When you get on the court, he's gonna be happy to have you, but he's gonna push you every fucking day. So you have a target. You have a target on your back, and on top of that, the game is a lot faster. Like I said, once you that's what people don't understand, like the pace. Like, once you infuse the 35-second shot clock, once you know what I'm saying, like, to some people, playing at high school, depending on where you played at, like, you might be coming from, out of town or something like that, and you playing against not the best competition. You able left and right, play with the ball. College is structure, like, pass the ball, go through. Can you run a play? Can you play within a system? So that is difficult. Fortunately for me, it wasn't difficult, and I was smart enough to know, like, yo, listen, I went to school. Shout out once again, Phil Grant, Kashif, Hamid, Tariq Kirksey, my guys, Jay Young. Like, I mean, like, I went to a school that was winning. Like, the year before I got there, Iona, they lost to Syracuse, I think, by a point or some shit like that, or whatever the case may be. A lot of those guys came back. So I'm in a school already where it's just like, we good to have you, my nigga. We don't need you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? It's good, yeah.
But let's back up for a second, real quick. So you mentioned it already. You go to Iona. You pick Iona as your school that you go to. How do you decide that you want to go to this school, though, out of all of the other schools that?
Because, like I said, I mentioned Jeff Rulin earlier, and I was at a 5-star Honesdale session, or whatever the case may be. So I was there. That's when a lot of the city kids go up there, whatever the case may be. I was torturing. Like, they have leagues, right? They have development.
Yeah.
They have development, NCAA, and NBA. So I was in my age group. I was in development.
Right.
Tortured in development. I got MVP of the development league. So now, as the camp goes on, they move you up to, like, NBA, whatever. They play quarters, like 2 and 4, 1 and 3, whatever. Great experience. But like I said, I had a great camp. Jeff Rulin was one of the counselors there.
Gotcha.
And he told me, he was like, yo, he's like, in a couple of years, I'm gonna be a college coach. I'm gonna come
Wow.
back and
Wow.
so it's like that's life is crazy.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
the fact that he was in that position, and also he wasn't when the recruiting was going on. He wasn't. I think it was. I think the coach name was Tim Welsh, if I'm not mistaken, or whatever. Like I said, Iona had a great year that year,
Cool.
and he got another job. So it went from him recruiting me as the assistant to him being as the head coach, and
Wow.
it was just like I never forgot that.
Yeah.
There, UNLV, University of Virginia, Fordham, and it was one other school or whatever the case may be. But that story stuck in my mind,
Wow.
and it was just like I was comfortable going. Like I said, me and Tariq played together at Rice.
Yeah.
I knew Phil Robeson,
Right.
whatever the case may be. So it wasn't a bad choice. It wasn't that far away from
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I was comfortable in making that decision.
Right. And then as a coach being there,
Yes,
that
yes,
made it that much better.
I made it that much better. Like he was gonna be there already, but like I said, the fact that the guy got the head coaching job somewhere else, he became the head coach. So it was just like, all right, fuck it, that's what we going. That's what we doing.
Let's talk about your memorable moments. I mean, the highlights throughout your college career. I mean, because you had like I did my homework, and I mean the stat line was crazy. You was filling the scoring column up, rebounds, everything.
Memorable moments. Memorable moments. Like I said, it's college, NC2A. Like I said, I grew up. I seen the Fab Five with my eyes. So just to be on a college floor, NC2A, Division 1, even from year one, making the old rookie team, the MAC old rookie team, whatever. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So like I said, all of it was highlights, individual plays. My son, like shout out to my son Speedy Claxton or whatever.
Speedy Claxton,
Hofstra, whatever.
Yeah, he coaching at Hofstra.
Ever running to Speedy, you asked him. We played Hofstra. I had a dunk. I dunked on the center. It's my guy, Greg Springfield.
Yeah.
Speedy DM'd me one day, probably like 2 years ago, something like that, and told me like, yo, bro, that's still one of the best dunks I ever seen live in life. Now, mind you, Speedy, my guy, like I said, Speedy been in the NBA. He was in the NBA quite a few years. If I'm not mistaken, Speedy a champion.
He is on the Spurs.
So for somebody like him to tell me that is just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But highlights, like a bunch of things, like, you know, individual plays and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the highlight really was basically going to that school for 4 years, able to attain a degree and basically kind of mirroring what went on in college and the fact in high school and the fact of winning. So we was able to go to the NCAA tournament twice there too. Yeah. So in my 4 years, 98 to 2002, throughout that 4 years, Iona, we won twice, and then Siena won the other 2 times. So you know what I mean? I think Siena won my first year and my senior year, and we won my sophomore year and my junior year. So now, mind you, got thousands of kids in a league,
right?
And to a degree, it was like kind of like, you know, you being the Jordan of that 4-year era, because none of y'all niggas won. Like it was only me, it was only us, and this team right here. So that was dope, man.
That's dope. Shout out to my man Phil Grant on the check-in, man. My man Jay,
Phil,
everybody.
I love Phil. That's my dog right there, man. Me and Phil had every sneaker in college. All these niggas reselling sneakers and all that. Me and my dog had every sneaker, man.
Yeah, like every sneaker.
Man. All these shits is retros to us, man. We had everything, original boxes, man.
Yeah, I did it
Phil,
already.
Man.
All right, that's what's up, man. So you had a successful high school career, successful college career. What's the next step after you finish college, after you attain your degree? What's next? What's in store for you next?
So now that was the crazy thing about it though is basketball, the way it ended my senior year was just like a story out of a nightmare book. So now, mind you, the first 3 years, everything I was supposed to do, all conference teams, like I told you, you know, freshman team, all rookie team, or whatever the case may be. Damn near majority of the you know, the books, whatever it was, Streets of Smith, all the correspondence, picked me preseason player of the year for the conference or whatever the case may be. We had a workout in the summer or whatever. My homeboy Drago Pavlich, my brother, love him to death. We was working out, big Russian guy, 6'8",
Yeah.
270,
Yeah.
like LeBron.
Yeah.
Fell on my knee. Um, Redshirting wasn't an option. Never was the same that particular season. One of definitively the worst season
Wow.
of my 4 year career. Very disappointing,
Yeah,
and
of
and I
course.
won't I won't use the term depressing, but it was just like. Then I also graduated during the same year of that 9/11 went on, or whatever the
Wow.
case may
Okay.
be.
Okay.
So for me, it was just like, yeah, you know what? Maybe this is how the story's supposed to end. But like you said, I went to school, got the degree,
Right.
whatever the case may be. Get into, use your brain. You're a smart guy. What you gonna do now? Relax for a couple of months. You go through school from 5 years old
Yeah,
to
right.
22.
Right.
Got
Take a break.
attained every diploma possible. Couple of months break. Started into the workforce, and like I said, that was good. Like I said, it was good in the sense that it let me know that all the lessons I've been through in life, that they made me mentally tough, because unfortunately I know a lot of individuals that just couldn't let the dream go.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Agree.
couldn't they
Yeah.
they they, they couldn't let they couldn't
they
let the
still
dream
they
go.
still at
Yeah,
it. You know what I mean?
still chasing the dream.
Yeah.
And it's nothing wrong with chasing the dream, but at some point in time you got to become realistic with your life. Like, what I'm saying, like you have to become realistic. And I was realistic from young, and I knew, like, yo, at the end of the day, even though this doesn't seem like my path right now, because that's one thing coming from the inner city, seeing the things, like I said, blessed and amazing. I was in Miami, first plane ride I got on, I think I was 13, 14. I'm in California. Like, people don't see these places. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I got, they was sitting on stoops, on crates, or
Right. Right.
whatever the
Right.
case
Right.
may be. So I always knew, whether it was basketball, working, or something else, I wanted to get back to these places with a girl, like
Right.
my
Right. Right.
kids, like
Right.
something, you know what
Got
I'm
you. Got
saying?
you. Got
So
you.
I
Got
had
you.
stuff to look
I
forward to.
mean, you did what a lot of young people aspire to do, in terms of you went to one of the top high schools, and then you go on to college, full scholarship. You graduate, which is, I mean, that
Yeah, it already put you in the 1-2 percentile of life. Like, yeah, I
that's
mean,
a fact.
yeah,
So
you know what I mean?
I mean, like, congrats to that, man. Then that alone right there is a part of your story that I needed to for my people to hear. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy that they heard it here first.
You heard it here
That's a
first.
big deal.
Yeah, you my guy. I told you
You know
that.
what I'm saying? So real quick, growing up, who were some of the players that inspired you? I mean, that you aspired to emulate your game after, or just helped you overall, like, just from watching, not
From
even
watching.
really knowing them,
Yeah.
like,
So
just
so so listen, I'm gonna say this. If you grew up in the era that I grew up in, or whatever the case may be, early '90s, whatever the case may be, you was inspired by them fucking Jordan tapes. Come Fly With Me, all that. If you ever
right.
watch any of them tapes after them shits went off, you was ready to go to the park and get 40, shadow playing, all that. But like I
Right.
said, players wise, like I said, that's why it's difficult for me to watch basketball to a degree now. So like I said, these things that went on, that was like phenomenons at a certain time, up until a certain age, obviously. But like, I seen the Fab Five, like I seen them live. I
Right.
seen Glenn Robinson at Purdue, and you like, damn,
Yeah.
this nigga's the bad. Like, I
Right.
seen Mashburn, all those
Right.
people. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people that, a lot of the kids present day wouldn't even know. But it's
Right.
like, like, we've seen it.
And we saw what they did.
We've
Yeah.
seen it. We've seen it
Right.
before. So, I found, like, as somebody who was in love with the game of basketball at a certain time, it wasn't hard to find inspiration, because like, you found inspiration on every time you seen the game. Like I said, I seen the Duke team, I seen Grant Hill, to like, God damn, this motherfucker, he's 6'8", like, he's doing, like, you know what I mean? Like, so, you know what I mean? You get to see. I started seeing the guys, this, I think it was I think Garnett did it first 95, like
Yeah,
to come back. Like
Garnett.
I've seen, so that's a high school you could do that. Like I mean, like like you know what I'm saying. Like you like yo, you could
Right,
do
right,
it.
right, right.
Like
Yeah,
Kobe, even the sweater today. Like this. I had this shit in my closet. I never call it, but you know what I mean. Like be honest, Kobe dying that day, that shit was like a sad day for me
yeah,
personally.
yeah.
Like I think for many people, because although not knowing him personally, he's somebody that I grew up with,
Right,
in the
right,
sense
right,
that I seen, you
right.
know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
like I seen
right.
his historic rise in not only basketball but in life.
Yeah,
Word.
yeah.
So you know
That
what I
was
mean.
heartbreaking.
It
Yeah, for
was it
everybody.
was
Yeah,
those guys were definitely inspiring though, because like I said, when you've done something, even if you don't get to do it at the level that you wanted to do it at, when you see people go through, if you get to watch it, you respect it because you know what it took for that person
right,
to
right,
get
right,
there.
right,
So you know
right.
what I mean, seeing those guys go through their basketball journey, and like I said, even personally, like seeing people that I'm practicing with every day. Dre Barrett, Andre Barrett, Eric Barkley, Ron, my God, Queensbridge. I know
Yeah,
his story. Like,
right,
you know what I
right,
mean?
right.
Like it, on a different note, like, I remember I think we was in Colorado at the time. We on a trip. He get a call, found out that, speaking of Ron, that his sister passed away. I remember that being
Wow.
in a room when he get that call that he has to
Yeah.
go back home. So to see him and his family,
Right, right,
make
right.
it,
Yeah, it's
from New York
big.
City. That's it's big. That's big.
Yeah,
That's
wow.
big. That's dope. That's
Yeah,
dope.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Dope
dope.
story, man. Um, social media era. Imagine.
I don't want to imagine. I can't
he
imagine.
said.
I can't
He
imagine,
said, "I
bro.
can't
I
imagine."
can't imagine,
You know
man.
what I
I can't.
mean?
I can't
Because
imagine.
all of the stuff that you was doing, man, like if that platform was available for just your group, how crazy would it be, man?
Yeah, listen, man. So, shout out to social media, man. Like, like at the end of the day, social media has changed the trajectory of a lot of lives. And at the end of the day, I'm not gonna say it and debate errors or anything like that or whatever the case may be, but at the end of the day, social media, by all accounts, has magnified countless things in this generation, and it serves an amazing purpose when used right. On the other
Correct.
hand of social media, I don't like some of the characteristics about it, because at the end of the day, so even you, like, what I'm saying, like, at the end of the day, I know you personally, so I know you're an inspiration to a lot of people, myself included,
Right.
since I met you. But now, whoever's watching this podcast or whatever the case may be, um, they're just seeing the finished product. They don't know what it took for
Right.
you to get, and that's what I don't like about
Got you.
social media
Yeah.
present day. Like, at the end of the day, in certain times, points in times, we seeing the finished product. I don't care if we're talking about rappers, athletes, this, that, and the third, whatever the case may be, rapper, singer, whatever. You seeing a sold out arena, but you didn't see when nobody showed up. They was just in there opening for somebody, and there was only 10 people in the crowd or whatever the case may be. So depending on how your vision and your view of life, social media can be a negative thing, but it
That's a
can also
fact.
be a positive tool used to magnify and grow
Yeah.
your business and your brand
Right.
in amazing ways.
Agreed. It's good stuff, man. Legendary.
My man, my man, my man.
um, what advice you have for parents of student athletes? Like, what advice would you give to the parents? And I'm gonna ask you that, and then I'm gonna ask you what advice you giving directly to the student athlete.
Okay. So for the parents, we get it, and I say we get it, meaning like to you, your child is the best player in the world, and you supposed to feel that way. I would be biased too, in that regard, but you also have to understand that these coaches, a lot of them, especially the ones with good intentions, such as yourself, um, and a lot of times they know what it takes in order to get your child to the next level. And like I said, I played on teams in which like God damn, like I said, I was the guy a lot, but I also played on teams where it was like 20 minutes was a lot. Like it's like, that Kyler Perry
Yeah.
Kentucky style, to where
Right.
it's like you rotating in every 2 minutes or whatever the case may be, because that's the type of, like, every parent would love for their kid to sit on a court or a field and have the ball always coming to them, shoot the most shots or whatever the case may be. But that's not what it takes, because at the end of the day, it's like I told you, the transition, you going into a system. So even from New York City, we had a lot of amazing guys. So, and think about it though, we always talk about the guys who made it.
Right.
Think about the guys that we all know in here personally who did not make it.
And it
You know what I'm
was really,
saying? Like,
really good.
and that was not
Yeah.
even really good. That
Yeah.
was great. Like,
Yeah.
that was
Great.
amazing.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that comes from, you know what I'm saying, you can't follow direction, structure. You can't be on
Right.
places on time, this,
Right.
that, and the third, whatever the
Right.
case may be.
Right. Right.
You have to let your child be able to be coached, because at the end of the day, if you are lucky that your child attains a scholarship to one of these big schools or whatever the case, this coach gets a couple of $1 million to make decisions. Like, at the end of the day, if they're nice, they might listen to your input, but their decisions is going to be their decisions.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So you
Right.
you gotta let your child. You know what I'm saying? The best thing you could do as a parent is make sure your child has manners. He's not gonna do certain things off the court,
Right.
and knows that nothing is given. And you know what I'm saying? Like, as long as there's a fair opportunity for you to work your way on the court, make the best of it. So, like, you asked me about college. I knew, like I said, playing with guys like Phil Grant, Tariq Kirksey, Kashif Hamid, they just won the previous year. Bro, they didn't bring me here to get 20 a night. I had to play defense to get on the court.
Right.
Now I'm on the court. Oh, you can score too. So you get what I'm saying?
Right,
Like, you
right, right,
you gotta,
right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta think it out.
That's
Like,
a
you know what I'm
fact.
saying? You gotta think it out.
Right. 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 So, what are you saying to the student athlete now? Like, directly to them, your advice from you to them.
What I'm saying to the student athlete present day is, first and foremost, shout out to NIL. Get your money. Like, that's first. That's first and
thing.
foremost, man.
Yeah.
That's reparations in a big way. I'm extremely happy to see that. But on a more serious note, um just as you stated it, the term is student athlete. Of all the things, of all my basketball accomplishments, I'm extremely proud of, but I'm way more proud of, and I know my family is, and my friends and everybody who know me, that they could bring me anywhere in the world and I could have a conversation with anybody from any walk of life. Like, at the end of the day, unfortunately, a lot of athletes, even professional athletes, they didn't take that first word in student athlete serious, and you might hear them on a podcast, on an interview, or you might see them in a paper, some financial difficulties, whatever the case may be. Education is an extremely important thing. And, at the end of the day, somebody who went to school and collected, a certain amount of diplomas, I don't have a problem saying that, school is not to say or be all for everybody. There are some very successful people that didn't, attend a high level of school, but knowledge is key. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you should be able to hold a conversation. You should understand certain things. You should be able to read, you know what I mean? Like, articulate yourself, stuff like that. So being a student athlete is extremely important, and it's important for life. So when I have conversations with people like, yo, do you regret? I don't regret nothing, because at the end of the day, the path that I took was the path that was designed for me.
Right.
If you stay, you know what I mean, there's no traffic in your lane. Like, you know what I mean, your lane is empty, and not going to certain levels in basketball and stuff like that allowed me to understand what life is about, understand finances, how to balance a checkbook, how to understand certain things, the importance of credit, so forth and so on. So, you know what I mean? Education is a good thing. And you don't only learn in school, you learn throughout life.
That's
You learn every single day.
That's good, man. That's great. That's great. Right there. I love it. I love it, man. One of the things that I also ask for is for some. You have to leave our viewers, our followers, with some motivational words. Something that can be understood from a young person to an adult.
You
got it.
I know. I got
It's
it.
the
Listen,
legendary right
listen,
here.
listen, listen. I'm a say this. Like, I already gave one. Basically, be yourself, man. You being anybody else but yourself. You acting that can never go right. People gonna respect you for who you are and for what you represent. And the last thing I'm gonna leave the audience with a quote. um I don't care what you going through right now at all. And I know, it's cliche. Is very, very, very much cliche. Even people who might be listening to this on a tough time or whatever, you want that tough time to be over. But I want y'all to remember, in life, the best been through the worst.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. All right, I love it, man. We got a couple more minutes, actually, a couple more questions and stuff like that. Throughout your basketball journey as a player, is there anything that you think you would have done? Is there anything that you wish you've done differently throughout your whole experience? I mean, like, is there anything
Oh,
at all?
I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, vision is 2020 in hindsight. Like, I had, my best friend at the time, Dana, like D Jones. Shout out to D Jones, man. Like, it's my guy. I really miss that guy. He was really upset with me for choosing Iona,
Mm,
and he was upset with me because he thought, like, yo, bro, you could have went higher than that, or whatever the case may be. And to a degree, did I ever think about that? Yes. And he's right. Like, at the end of the day, once you start understanding basketball, like, because it's a business. At the end of the day, schools, top ACC was the league when I was, North Carolina, Duke, all that. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
right,
Like, they're recruiting a couple of people. They don't get them. You have a good season.
right,
They'll come in, this,
right,
that, and the third, or whatever. But like I said, to me, I had a story, and a rapport with Jeff Rulin, and he was somebody that, came 180, kept to his word, was able to get a
right,
to get a head coaching
right,
job. And I just liked the way that story sounded at the time. But, I'm a big proponent of, everything happens for a reason. By all accounts, it was an amazing basketball, and not only basketball but life journey,
right.
which I really, really appreciate. But you start to wonder, like, because as you go higher, so, like, like, I'm in a mid-major school. Present day, I don't care where you are, they can find you. Could be playing in a
That's a fact.
fucking a temple in Saudi Arabia. Like, if you good,
They
they're gonna
come
find you with
in. Yeah,
technology and everything. But,
right,
present at the time, it's just like 25 in a quote unquote mid major, the MAC, like, other schools, like, like Hofstra, Speedy, he went, shout out to Speedy
yeah.
again,
Shout out to Speed.
went and killed or whatever. But now, at the end of the day, you might only have to average 13 in the ACC. 13 in the ACC. Look at that shit's like, that shit's 40 in the MAC. Like, you know what I'm
That's a
saying?
fact.
So,
Yeah,
you look at it like that, because, like, in your arrogant young self, you tell yourself, like, I don't give a fuck, bro. I got 15 at Duke. You know what I mean? Like, you say, you know what I mean? And you gotta say that. Like, if you play sports, you have to be arrogant to
I have
to a
to the
degree.
degree.
So, you know what I mean? So it's one of those things, like, you know what I mean? It's one of those things that you be like, you know what I mean? Like, should I have tried to go to a bigger school? Because that was the mindset. You go to a bigger school, you probably got to do less. You don't got to do as much.
Somebody got a question. They asked, how hard was it to adjust into the coaching styles from high school to college? How hard was that?
Um,
If it was hard.
I mean, personally, personally, for me, it wasn't too hard, because, once again, that goes back to that terminology, like student athlete. Student, you know what I mean? You learning all the time, or whatever the case may be. I understand in life, everybody ideologies is not the same. But also, once you start understanding basketball, you understand the shit is all interchangeable. Same thing with the NBA.
Right.
NBA, them niggas only running 3 plays, bro. Like, nigga, can you stop it? Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
right.
we running a motion, we
Right.
running a flex, something like that, or
Right.
whatever the case may be. The only thing that I will say that I'm almost positive from the conversations that I've had with all the people that I know, that if you somebody that was in high school just getting buckets, nigga, you gonna attempt to play defense on this team. Like you're not, you know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna be like niggas, you're not gonna be letting niggas waltz around you. You're gonna have to make some attempt on playing defense if you step into on a college campus. For
Right.
real.
Last thing, man, I want to shout out to my young boy in the song. You saw him play. That's the
Yes,
young boy. He
yes,
scored
yes,
85 points, right?
yes. He's a
Yo,
bad man.
yo, listen.
Shorty's a bad man.
He's getting 40 a game right now at Eagle Academy, Queens, man. Shout out to my young boy.
Yeah.
Keep going. But yo, that's our time. If you want to shout out anybody real quick.
Yeah, I want to shout out everybody, any and everybody that was a part of me being or becoming who I am as a man today. Thank you. I appreciate you. You know what I mean? Good, bad, and in between, love, hate. It all made me the person that I am today, and I'm thankful, super thankful, and I'm super thankful to you that we could do this,
Yes,
my
sir.
inaugural podcast with you, and I'm super proud of you. Everything you do for these kids or whatever the case may be, you definitely somebody that I look up to.
Appreciate you,
Real
brother.
rap,
Much
my
love,
man.
man. It's the AMF show.
Yeah,
Coach Javon, we out of here,
we out
man.
of here.
Peace.